So consider any point on the coordinate plane. We'll call it h comma k, where again h and k can just be any real numbers. And if we want to consider a point that's a certain distance away, okay, we talked about a question like this earlier. If we knew, say, the distance was 4, well, where are all the points that are 4 units away from HK? Okay, and so you could talk about that, and if you think about it for a minute, you should come up with the fact that there are multiple points. So let's say XY is 4 units away from HK. I could also talk about this point here that is 4 units away from HK. Or I could talk about that point that is 4 units away. Okay, and I can actually come up with several points that are 4 units away from HK. So if we start plotting some points here, now so these are all points which are 4 units away. And we could find many more, and if you start to look at those, you start to realize that they all lie on a circle. Okay, which brings us to our definition of a circle, which is the set of all points a certain distance away from a fixed point, that is the center. So in our previous illustration, we saw that all the points along this circle represent points that are a fixed distance, okay, away from that center. Okay, and we said that the distance was 4. Okay, and so now we go down here, okay, and our definition of a circle is the set of all points in the xy plane that are a fixed distance r from a fixed point hk. Okay, and r, that fixed distance, is the radius, and the fixed point hk is the center of the circle. Okay, so I know that any other point on here is going to be 4 units away from my center. Okay. And now recall the distance formula. Okay, if we consider, we can say that r is equal to, okay, r being the distance, it is equal to the square root of, and if we consider any other point on here, x comma y, then that distance from 3, 2 to any point x comma y on that circle can be represented like this. So x minus 3 squared plus y minus 2 squared. So that's just the setup from our distance formula using 3, 2, and any point x, y here. This would give us the distance from the center to that particular point. And if we rearrange this a little bit, if we square both sides of this, okay, what we end up with is what we call our standard equation of a circle. So we end up with this equation here, okay, and this ends up being our standard equation of a circle. Okay, so the standard form of a circle is for a center of h comma k, and radius r, the equation is going to be x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So this is the equation of the standard form of a circle.